But as you heard, Rashawn Slater tackle Los Angeles Chargers. I think there are a lot of people's dark horse here early in, camp and everything. He is out for the year. Torn patellar tendon, was carted off today. Listen, we like to start with the more upbeat, fun things, but one, this is certainly the most newsworthy thing of the day. Two, you are probably the best person to speak to about this here at Fox Sports Radio, so we can get into the impact of the Los Angeles Chargers, etc., but 13-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, played offensive tackle in the NFL. Just your first reaction to hearing that news, which just broke here within the last hour.
Literally, during the update, I looked at you like, yes. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
It is, number one, it's awful.
Of course.
I feel extremely sorrowful for this young man who is one of the bright stars on the offensive line in the NFL. Every year we have these type of injuries to teams in training camp. It just lets you know how aggressive, I'll say, football is, whether it be in practice or in the game. And so when you have guys who don't feel like they're being compensated the right way, they hold out or hold in now because of the fine system has changed. You start to understand why.
100%.
So less than a week ago, this young man signed a 4-year extension for $114 million and $92 million guaranteed. If he had not signed that contract 7 days or so ago, the numbers would be considerably different.
100%.
After sitting out this whole year. And I just want to say it like that to keep it in context for our wonderful listeners who join us every day. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of our listeners are fans in sports, and they want guys to show up and be there for their teams, but it's just a job.
100%.
And if you're being underpaid at your job and you're excelling at your job, then you feel a certain type of way. I understand what Michael Parsons is going through.
100%.
I understand what Trey Hendrickson is going through. I understand what Terry McLaurin is going through, because they know that next day at practice, tomorrow,
yep,
their season could be over.
Mm-hmm.
And now negotiations take on a whole nother dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And so as for the Chargers, a lot of high hopes.
Of course.
Second year under Harbaugh, running game, hard nose, Justin Herbert really stepping into his own and really for the first time in his career having a real coach last year with Jim. And so now seeing this news, this is one thing I can tell you for sure. Playing left tackle for many, many years in the NFL, most teams don't have two.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So most teams don't have two high-level left tackles. Now, you may have a swing guy who come in and do some spot duty here and there, and later in my career, I was that guy after starting for 10 years. But it's a huge setback because that's a huge void in a hole that you can't easily fill.
Sure.
Like, it's not like a running back where you can go get that guy, or it's not like a DB where you can bring someone over, or it's not like a guard where you can hide them in between, a center and a good tackle. You're out on an island, and you're out on an island on the blind side, and not having that at the level they needed to make some noise and make a real push this postseason is a huge setback for this team.
Okay, so I got a couple takeaways, but my first one for you, and I want to just ask you this. We all love football. We all know kind of the next man up philosophy. Take us into a training camp, though, because to me, I think it's easy to sit there and say, oh, next man up, and it's a new opportunity. But the counter to that is you got a lot of guys, like you said, that, Keenan Allen literally just, ended up with this organization a few days ago thinking that he has a window to go to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. You have a bunch of other vets. What is the locker room like after a situation like this, understanding from the second you put your pads on when you're a high school, teenager, middle school, whatever, that these injuries can happen, but it's also easy to say next man up. It's another thing when a player of this significance goes down, and even if you want to have that next man up theory, you also understand that with due respect to whoever's stepping in, they ain't the guy that you just lost.
I'll put it like this. Think about losing your star quarterback, your starting quarterback.
Sure.
Yeah, it's two other guys on the roster.
Yep.
And they have to step in and show up and show out. It's not the same.
Sure.
The offense cannot function the same way. And I believe it's the same way when you replace a left tackle, when you lose a Pro Bowl left tackle, someone of his caliber, one of the great young stars in this league at that position. It changes how you now can approach defenses. You can no longer not worry about what's going on. Case in point, Deion Sanders.
Sure.
Deion Sanders would be standing over there when the defense was huddled up.
And you just didn't throw to that side of the field.
You knew no matter what was going on, he was fine.
Yep.
So when you're calling these offensive plays, you know we can turn the whole protection away. Right? He can be on an island. Rashawn, he's okay over there. That's why you get paid so much.
Sure.
So we can do some things and know that he can hold up against whatever they're trying to do. Now that's gone. Right? Yep. So now you have to reconfigure and have a different approach in how you're going to attack defenses, because now most likely you're going to have some form of help to help whoever is replacing him. And that changes the playbook dramatically. And it also changes this one thing. The reason quarterbacks love left tackles is because they don't have to worry about anything.
Blindside. It's literally blindside.
I got you.
Yep.
We're good.
Yep.
Right? I've been there. I've had tremendous relationships with the quarterbacks I've played with. And they'll throw a touchdown pass or a big play, and they'll look at me, tap me on the helmet.
Sure.
We had a bunch of plays designed for me to be alone. That's why they call it the island.
Yep.
DBs have an island. Left tackles have an island. That island is lonely.
Sure.
And when you're going against the Jason Taylors, the Dwight Freeneys, the Charles Haleys, the Strahans, it gets really lonely.
Sure.
I spent my career being alone on an island and crying the night before most games. But it's that trust that the offensive coordinator has in you, that those other four guys on the offensive line has, that the quarterback has, to know, all right, even when we call this play, we good over here. So now you can focus on other things. It's gone now. So now the biggest person this is going to hurt is Justin Herbert.
Of course, yep.
So now he has to keep an eye on, his blind side. Like, he has to check there, which takes you from your reads downfield. That's the tough part. Or you have a back over here chipping, which doesn't allow them to get out. You take away a lot of empty sets where backs, they're, free release right away. It changes your dynamic. And I know everybody upstairs in the coaching staff, especially on offensively, they're reeling right now because they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we plug a hole that you can't plug?
Last question, and I think I already know the answer based on everything you've said over the last couple minutes. Chargers, as I said, were, Chiefs coming off that frustrating loss in the Super Bowl. They get beat up, whatever. Buffalo has its own. The point being, a lot of people, this was the trendy, could they win the division, first of all, but also, if you want to call it a dark horse, pseudo-dark horse Super Bowl contender, I assume that based on everything that you've told me, that's essentially off the table, that the expectations for this team in 2025 should be altered or changed, if you believed it. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can't lose a position like left tackle at that level and be like, no, we're good. No, we're good. Just like you couldn't lose a quarterback.
Sure, 100%.
And be like, no, how many Tom Brady's are on teams right now in terms of being backups, coming in, ready to carry the torch right away? Yeah. There are outliers out there, and it'll be interesting to see what the Chargers are trying to do. They're on phones with agents, guys who have played, and all pro guys who maybe have retired or not quite retired.
Let me jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I think producer Rob told us they're going to try to move Joe Alt from right tackle to left tackle. And I would ask you, because again, right tackle isn't on an island. Right tackle isn't the blind side. If that's the move, one, you obviously have to find a right tackle now. Yeah. How easy, or is it easy, even for a first-round pick like Joe Alt, to make that conversion? And let me dumb it down for us as much as you can.
Okay, I will.
How different is the playbook? How different is this? How different is not just the responsibility of being on the blind side, being on an island, but also just, I don't even know, just the playbook, whatever.
So the great thing about them, if they do decide to move their first-round pick this year to left tackle, which he played.
Yep.
Which he played in college, that bodes well for him. He's a natural left tackle.
Okay. Yeah,
and so sense. Making that transition, when I came into the league, when I got drafted, I was a left tackle. Mm-hmm. But we had perennial Pro Bowler Bob Whitfield, the behemoth from Stanford, at left tackle. So when I got to training camp, I was fourth on the depth chart at left tackle. Something happened. Somebody got hurt on the right side, so I moved over and took advantage of the opportunity and ended up starting my rookie year at right tackle. Everything was different.
Okay.
It's like you're right-handed.
Sure.
Start writing with your left hand.
Okay.
Right? It's the simple things like that.
Makes sense.
What do you knife and fork? Put it in your other hand.
Okay.
And so, but this is happening in a matter of seconds.
Sure.
To where your technique is perfect at left tackle or right tackle, and then you switch over, and now you're thinking about your technique.
Makes sense.
And that split second of thinking can be detrimental to your offense.
It's an unbelievable situation. As Monty told you to lead the show, Rashawn Slater, left tackle, Los Angeles Chargers, out for the season with a torn patella tendon.
Oof, it's a tough one too.
Yeah, and Chargers obviously reeling, as Ephraim just said, probably on the phones right now working really hard to figure out what the next move is, because it is crippling.